I feel like I've been a bully, if anything, to people that do make the decision to be vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, pescatarian. I don't give a shit as long as it's healthy now. And like, I guess I didn't see that.
Yeah,
So we just left Costco's, and it's much easier for us to shop now that we eat so much less. But it's also really hard because I don't eat shit really. He eats all the vegetables and all the things that I can't eat.
yeah, it's so bad for my life.
It's gonna take time, and it's gonna, I don't know, I guess it's gonna be a learning experience. But we have some goodies.
Yeah,
We have all our
it's
stuff.
very easy for me. That was too bad.
That is what it is.
So, baby, what you making?
Avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
I don't know how many minutes I should leave it, but probably like a minute or two.
Let's talk about your relationship with food. How has your relationship changed with food in this past year alone? 'Cause I'm sure it changed the most it has ever.
Yes. Well, I don't want to classify myself vegan, plant-based, or any of that. I just feel like I'm eating healthy. I feel like I'm putting my health first, and that's something that I've never done. So for me, it's more of an experiment to try to reverse what's going on in my body, if that makes any sense. What about you?
Just more we learned about what's going in our bodies. So once Corona happened, how do we get healthy or prevent from getting Corona?
Yeah.
And it's just switching your lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle, and things that you need to cut out, things you need to have to build up your immunity. And then the more we went down that wormhole, the healthier we got. And we just started cutting stuff out one by one.
I think it was definitely what the health.
What the hell? Of course. But before what the hell, we weren't eating pork or meat.
No, but yes, we were. We weren't eating it often.
Bacon doesn't count.
You see, we can't talk like that anymore. It's ridiculous to even talk like that at this point. I just feel like, what the health, I've seen it before, years ago, when I guess it was like a big thing, and when it came out, and it did nothing for me. I didn't pay attention to it. I was so ignorant. I was talking more so like, am I gonna travel the world and not eat all the good foods around, and like I only live once and all this, and just, I feel like I've been a bully, if anything, to people that do make the decision to be vegan, plant-based, vegetarian, pescatarian. I don't give a shit as long as it's healthy now. And like, I guess I didn't see that.
Yeah, before it used to be like, nah, I'd rather eat meat and die early than not eat meat. Like, that's crazy. Like, telling me not to eat a cheeseburger, like, that's how I usually really, really thought. Like
But it's
was
brainwashing.
impossible. Yeah, because it's everywhere. You see it everywhere. You just think that's just what it is, and that's the lifestyle. And you think that a lot of people, I thought like cancer is like, it just selects you, you know what I mean?
Me too.
Like you just might not get lucky and just get cancer, but when you think about it, everything you're eating can cause it, and all the bad shit you put in your body can cause it. Of course, there's those times where you could just get cancer because yes, you live a healthy life and it just happens.
Yeah.
It could be hereditary, but the more you could prevent.
But do you believe that really? Or is that just like what case studies are saying? Because
I don't know what to believe, honestly.
Because if food, here's the thing, if like we're not meant to eat meat, we're not, for me it's not about the whole animal thing. Like I love animals, I get it, but I've always believed like 400,000 years ago, if we were in the wilderness and it's between us and an animal, I'm choosing meat, you know what I mean? So that's how I've always looked at it from my standpoint. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Like I might do 1 more minute for browning. I'm sorry. I just feel like once you do research on food and dairy and all of these things, and you start to really look at the packaging of what you're eating, and it's words you can't pronounce.
Entertainment on the front, education on the back.
Literally, but there's a big weirdness, and I feel like there's a divide when people are like, oh, you must not be living life, and I'm torn between that comment because I do feel like it's very difficult to survive in this way. It really is.
Talk about that. How difficult has it been for you going pretty much full vegan since it's been a month now?
I don't have a desire to eat point blank. Like, I don't know what's been going on, but the desire I have to eat actual solid foods is gone. And I believe this started maybe 2 years ago. Remember when I was cleaning meat and when we were studying, I couldn't clean it anymore. I couldn't look at it anymore. It just starts to make me think of like, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? How do we know that it's taken care of? Then you start looking at like TV, and I'm sorry, but you can't debunk what the health with all the people trying to deter an interview from happening so that you don't find out the truth. And it's just weird. So I'd rather just stay healthy and like try my best to fix myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like so it's all about relationship with food. Like before we was on like the paleo diet, keto diet, all this different types of diets. And once you figure out like you just have to change your eating habits, when you eat, why you eat, that's when it really starts. Like we literally eat only when we're hungry, and then we'll eat enough just to fuel us to the next time we're hungry for the most part. It don't always have to be a sit down breakfast, sit down lunch, sit down brunch, sit down dinner. Like it doesn't always have to be an event. It's just fuel to keep you going.
And like I was complaining about, for example, the cheese conversation, right? I was complaining about having to transfer over to vegan cheese. It's like vegan cheese doesn't melt and all this. But Kraft cheese isn't even real. Half of these cheeses aren't even good for you. So all of the cheeses aren't good for you.
Yeah, we're not meant to have anything from cow's milk. Like we're not meant to digest that stuff. That's why you're bloated. Like since we gave up dairy, we're not bloated. We have more energy. Like you gotta use food as fuel, and we always associate food with happy times, and it's always bad food with happy times. It just we shouldn't always associate that with that.
I agree.
And it's always like the bad food is the best. Like the more cheese, the more meat, and at the end of the day, you feel good after. You know what I'm saying? You feel good in the moment. But you always overindulge, you always overstuff yourself, and then you feel shitty about it the next day.
Dude, it's just like, for me, I get stuck because I don't have many options now, you know?
You talk about your struggles and the things that you honestly don't eat that are vegan.
Yeah, and that's why I don't want to classify myself as a vegan individual, because for me, it's not about that. Like if I were to read a study that said that eating Chilean sea bass boosts your omega-3s and it doesn't do anything negative for you as long as it's wild caught and stuff like that, I'm gonna eat it. And I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. If they said that about me, I'll be like, all right, cool. And if it was factual, but it's not. Because I just don't want to put anything in my body anymore that's deteriorating it. And furthermore, I have endometriosis, and I just learned that meat actually causes it, is one of the main causes of it. And that to me is actually like, that's sad, because you go to the doctor to be treated and taken care of, but what's really happening is they give you a couple of pills and tell you get this surgery and then it'll be removed. They don't tell you eat better.
Yeah, they don't tell you how to get rid of it. They tell you how to treat it.
Yeah.
And live with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just wanna, and that's another thing, like I really don't trust the medical field. I don't trust these drug dealers that just give you pills. So it's like, I'm gonna take care of my body so I don't have to go to the hospital. I'm gonna take vitamins. I'm gonna do everything possible. Have my sea moss, have my chlorophyll in my water, just so I just remain healthy. So I don't have to depend on this stuff. And it all starts with food and the gut, and knowing as much as you can about what's being put on your plate. So we've been eating organic for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to be mindful of just what goes on our plate, so make sure it's organic. We mostly eat just vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. And I like everything. That's so it's easy for me. So I can eat mushrooms, I can have my jackfruit, I can have my eggplant, I can have my zucchini, I can have. So it's very easy because I made a decision that I ain't messing with meat. Like I just don't want that inside of me, straight up.
I feel you. And if I do decide to go back to like fish or something, I think I will go back to being pescatarian at some point, but I will eat majority like this, if it makes sense. Like,
Gotcha.
I believe that if we go to like a really nice restaurant or something, and I know that the food is sourced in a certain way and like it's healthy, you know, I'm not gonna do frozen fish. I'm not gonna do any of that anymore, because that.
You want to get the pole, fish that motherfucker.
Yes,
put it
I
on
want
your
quality.
plate,
And I don't have an issue with fish. I have an issue with the ocean having oil in it and contaminating fish. Plastic contaminating fish. Because if you really think about it, back in the day, if somebody lives in the forest or something, like all these people that live in islands, you think they're not grabbing like fresh fish and cooking it over a fire and they're staying healthy and alive, you know?
Yeah.
So I know that that's okay, but also it's like, where's it coming from? I don't want to just go to like a rinky-dinky sushi spot and eat $3 sushi because they tell me it's fresh. Yeah. How the hell do I know that, you know?
That's true.
That's the only thing that I'm looking at now. I'm trying to be cognizant of that, but.
I feel you. Pescatarian, that's how we started this since March? And now since June, we've been doing vegetarian. But when we were pescatarians, we didn't have any dairy at all. So we cut out dairy a long time ago. But,
but sometimes we did slip with cheese and stuff like that.
Yeah, because everything is made with like eggs, milk, cheese, so it's hard to figure out, you know, what's made with that, and then try to stay away from that.
But I feel like we're learning. I feel like we're getting there, you know. So like.
And my thing is, it's easier for me. Like I probably won't go back to pescatarian, maybe here and there, but mine is more.
So maybe here and there, but you won't.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not ruling it out, but I doubt it. Just because I can eat all these other things that you don't eat, I just don't feel like I should put anything dead inside of my body. You know what I mean? So that's
another thing. I want to ask you a question. What do you think about people that believe that they've tapped fully into their spirituality, but they still eat all of these really bad things? Because I feel, and before you continue, I feel like it's hard to continue eating the same way once you start educating yourself more on meat, fish, and dairy, and just how the world shoves bad food in our face. So what is your take on people that are spiritual but still eating meat and stuff like that?
I think the further you get into spirituality, if it happens organically the way it happened with us, you just start taking things out your life that doesn't fit your life anymore. And for us, we wanted to maintain healthy because we can't be trying to connect with our higher self spiritually, and then we're putting up dead animals in us, and we're not being healthy to the body that we're trying to fix.
Not even that. Also, just remember the whole pineal gland thing. Like drinking certain things, eating certain foods covers it up even more. So a lot of people that don't even believe any of these things, they don't believe it because their pineal gland is covered.
I don't think you could truly tap into your full spirituality potential if you're not vegan, because you're not gonna want these dead things going inside your body because you feel that is energy, that is souls, or the trauma that these animals might have been through, that you're taking that on.
A lot of vegan things have a lot of bad things in them.
Oh yes.
So it's about just making that's why I don't believe in the whole title thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe in one saying I'm only vegan, I'm plant-based, I'm this. Like, why can't we just eat what is healthy for us? That's good. No, I forgot. It was a good bite. It was so good I didn't expect it. And I ate the whole tomato.
You shouldn't just label it. You should be
Yes.
doing your research, doing your nutrition research. Because the first thing we went to when we were like, all right, let's try this veganism and all that, we went to whatever is like our pretty much meat life.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is closest to that, that's what we went to. But then we started doing our research on what's the nutrition facts. Like we
Oh
said,
my God.
funds for entertainment, backs for education.
Wait, can we talk about this real quick since you're on this topic?
Yeah.
The Beyond Meat. The first time I ever made it. What was the first thing I said?
It smells like dog food.
It smelled just like dog food. And so, like, didn't you find something
Yeah.
that said that
It's made with stuff that they use for dog food.
and that to me is just like, so that's what took me out of using the word I'm vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everything you eat that is vegan is good for you. And also, really quickly, food can't have this much power over people.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when people argue, and I was this individual, I was the person that argued with people about their eating habits and how dare you be vegan. Like, I feel terrible for ever saying that because I wasn't educated and I was being ignorant and completely arrogant and minding people's business. But also, it's more so about like just do research.
Yeah, so or just like kudos to you. Like the thing we had the stigma against vegan people because you never have to ask a vegan if they're vegan, as I always tell you. Like that's the joke. But that's because they get offered meat all the time and they gotta say that they're vegan. And if somebody tells you that, yo, props to you. That must take a lot for you to become vegan. Like, how did you get into that? Or ask those questions. Just don't be like, yo, I could never, y'all bugging.
But also, I feel the people that say I could never are the people that have food taking control of their life. Because food revolves around the places they go, the events that they have fun at, the barbecue. All of a sudden, it's more so like I could never be as miserable, because that's how it is. I could never be as miserable as you. And like, for me, I feel like I can say this personally, I don't have a lot of options to eat. And it has been really difficult and really miserable. But you know what's more difficult and miserable? When I had an upset stomach 4 to 6 times a day from eating eggs, when I learned about food and you're not supposed to have the meat sweats, like that's actually meat being denied by your body. Your organs are denying it, so that's why you're actually sweating. Like there's so many reasons and so many things I don't want to feel. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to get diabetes. I don't want any of the stuff that people usually get from eating certain foods. And if I know I can control it,
why not?
This to me is bliss.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna keep saying YOLO when you know when you're doing stuff to shorten your life.
Yeah,
So you only live once, but you're shortening the life that you're living. So what is the point? And please believe that we were the people saying that, yo, I could never, It's just the more you learn what's going on in your body, you know, the more you learn of how America is poisoning us through our food, and how everything has GMO in it, and how everything's chemically injected, and the chickens and how they grow everything is just mass produced, and it's not good.
Like the news, the FDA is now allowing chicken to be sold across the United States of America with disease in it.
Look at what they're feeding those cows. They're feeding them garbage, and then they're killing them, and then they're feeding it to you. So you're eating the garbage that they eat and eating them that were raised off of garbage.
And let's not even talk about how you're actually eating the energy of the animal that was probably, and I don't think like this. I've never thought like this. You know, I'm like
I do.
100%. No, I'm talking about we just got educated about this. That's what I mean.
Okay.
And this is something that I found very hard to believe. But you know how we say people, our energy can mix? When you have sex with someone, your energies blend and you take on the energy of the individual that you're having sex with. What about the animal that you're eating? The animal that is screaming bloody murder, like he's dying, he's being killed and slaughtered. Or maybe he's ethically killed, who knows?
No, for the most part they're not.
For the most part they're not, exactly. But like, you're eating that energy.
And that's why, like, I'm good with not eating meat ever again. And when people ask me if it's hard for me, it's not. I love vegetables. I love all vegetables, and I can make them taste good. And you don't always, and it's always about like the portions of how we eat. So like, people can't have two sides. They can't have mac and rice and beans and then just call it a day. They have to have some type of meat, some type of meat substitute if they are vegan, and stuff like that. We don't need that anymore.
I never understood people
The avocado is our cut of avocado will be the meat with our pasta or our rice or our potatoes or anything else. It's just once you change the mindset of how you deal with food and how you have a relationship with food, everything will change. You'll get healthier, your skin will look better, you lose weight. I'm down to 222 from 232. What are you down?
168.0.
She's snatching, wearing belly shirts every day. She would have done that a couple months ago.
What's it called? My favorite. What's your favorite meal right now? I just want to say that before we end it.
My favorite meal? Some some brown quinoa rice with some mushrooms in the air fryer. Or like the side avocado. I don't know. It's anything. You?
I like when I make my special potatoes with caramelized onions, my sauteed broccoli, and a side of avocado.
Sure.
It's amazing. And I just want to reverse everything, and I want to stay looking this way for as long as I possibly can. And we just want you guys to do the research and make your own decisions. We're telling you our story because we can't even believe that we've moved to Texas. We kept talking about having Texas barbecue and trying Texas food, and we have not tried it at all. We just, it's something that we just felt. It just happened.
Happened organically. Like, it's
so weird.
It all ties into our spiritual journey and just our, once Corona happened, we were like, all right, what's going into our bodies? How can we stay healthy? That's simple.
How can we be better?
Yeah, and the more you learn about what's going into your body, the more you start working out, the more you start caring about all that, it'll just happen organically. And what you gravitate to, I just hope it's healthy. It doesn't have any GMOs. It's organic, and it keeps you on this earth longer and healthy and happy. Like, you know how many times you eat something and you feel terrible and then your stomach hurts? And then you go eat it again the next day?
Yeah.
Like, understand the brainwashing in that.
It is brainwashing. It is the biggest drug on the entire planet. Here's a challenge. Everything you eat for the next 3 days after watching this video, if you happen to watch it, look at every single ingredient that's in what you're eating and tell me if you know what it is.
Value your future. You gotta understand that you're not always gonna be this young. You're not always gonna bounce back. Like say a hangover. The older you get, the longer the hangovers get. So just imagine the bad food. The longer you keep eating bad food, the more bad effect it's gonna have, because you don't have the metabolism to just get this food out of you, and then it's like in you. So I'm 38 and I'm doing this now because I don't want to be 50 and sick. Like, my brother just turned 40 and just had like
terrible 3 months of just bad health. I had to switch his whole diet. I want to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
You gotta have a quality of life, man. And your quality of life should not stop at 50. It should just begin.
A quality of life should never stop.
Should never
Like,
stop.
it's just
Never too old to change a habit. People always be like, yo, I've been doing this my whole life, this is all I know, da, da, da. That means nothing. You're
Yeah, it
never
doesn't.
too old to change, to learn, to better yourself.
right, De Niro.
And also be careful with all these plant-based stuff.
Oh my God, yes, you have to read the ingredients.
Stay away from the soy that's in there. It has too much soy, please stay away from it. A lot of the canola oils and
That's
stuff
bad
like
for
that.
you too.
Stay away from it. As much as you could do, try to go to a, what is it, alkaline diet, like Dr. Sebi said.
Yep, that's
There's
what
a
we're
whole
trying
chart.
to
We're probably gonna put it up right now. And and that's what we're trying to lean into. I know I can do it easily.
Listen, I want to live, so I know that it's just going to take conditioning. Everything is conditioning.
Yes.
The reason why I ate bad is because I was conditioned my entire life to eat bad. So now I'm going to condition myself to eat good, and that's it.
That's it. We're just trying to better ourselves. We're trying to teach you guys some tools that we learned along the way. Hopefully get you on that process, or at least understand our process.
You said.
That's it. See ya when y'all see ya. Yes, we try this again. See ya when we see ya. Bye.
Bye.